All right. What's your name, Miss Hernandez?
Miss Hernandez? Like
Well,
my full name?
yes.
It's Olivia Jewel Hernandez.
That's a very cool name. Very cool. Very cool. So, how long have you been teaching?
This is my 5th year teaching. My first year at White Swan, though.
Where did you attend college for that?
I did. I went to Central Washington University. I graduated in 3 years with a bachelor's in fine art and a middle level math education degree.
Very cool. Very studious.
Yeah.
So, growing up, did you want to become a teacher?
I did. But actually, when I committed to go to college, when I was your guys' age, I signed for a scholarship to go into mechanical engineering, and then worked with an engineering firm over the summer after my senior year and didn't like it, so switched majors 2 weeks before I went to college.
Very cool. So, growing up, was there like an experience that motivated you to become a teacher?
There was my 4th grade year. Most teachers would tell you that the reason they became a teacher is because they had such a lovely experience with a teacher that changed their life and made them feel cared about. I actually had horrible teachers. And 4th grade specifically, and also middle school, I had a few teachers that made me not want to be at school. And I just thought that I didn't want any kids to come to school and not feel like anyone cared about them. And so I wanted to be the person that made kids feel cared for, feel seen, feel heard, and that's why I went into teaching.
That's actually very sweet. um, Although you did say you didn't really have good teachers, was there a teacher that kind of that gave you a lasting experience, as in that kind of like it sticks with you today?
Um, let me think. Probably my brother. My brother was my vice principal and math teacher when I was in high school, and also my soccer coach. So I had him in several different areas at school. And I've always, him being the older brother, and he was always deemed as the successful one in my family, really worked to make him proud. And I knew he would be proud of me going into a similar field. We're both math teachers. We actually got to teach together my 2nd and 3rd year teaching. We were 2 classrooms away from each other. So that was a really full circle experience.
That's actually really awesome. Speaking of your brother, how many siblings do you have?
I have 2. I'm the baby of 2 by a lot, even though I was not an accident. I say my brother was. He's 11 years older than me. My sister is 6 years older than me. So I was basically an only child, only one in the house by the time I was in middle school.
Dang. And are you your parents' favorite?
Without a doubt, I'm the baby.
You said you went to college and you studied more than just teaching.
Yes.
Is there anything besides teaching that you would do?
I would love to own an art studio that is in a low-income area that can be free for youth in that area. Apart from that, I am getting a master's in trauma-informed practices. So that is focused on making what we do as teachers more applicable to students that have experienced trauma in their life. It is focused on the idea around trauma affects your brain and your ability to intake and retain information. So it gives teachers tools so that they can better adapt learning for students that have faced a lot of adversity in their life. So my plan growing in the education field is to, once I finish my master's, to train teachers on trauma-informed practices.
So as a teacher, your job isn't just to teach your students, but also to make learning accessible for everyone?
Yes, for everyone. I think the biggest thing about being a teacher is making kids feel cared for. I tell you guys this, I told you it at the beginning of the year, that quote that I wrote my final paper on about how people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. And that's my philosophy towards teaching and towards everything. So I think kids need to feel seen, need to feel heard in order to intake what you have to give them. And so the most important thing about being a teacher is making sure that you build relationships with kids so that they care about what you have to say.
Has there been a kid that has openly said that you're a great teacher?
There has. My second year teaching, I had a student who was basically, he was, as an 8th grade student, paying the bills for his family. His dad wasn't in the picture, mom wasn't in the picture. He was living with grandma, who was terminally ill, so he was taking care of everybody. He was the oldest in his family with 2 younger siblings. He is a junior this year. He just turned 18. We still keep in contact. Just started driving and is passing all of his classes, made varsity football this year. And that's a kid that I have worked diligently to stay in contact with, just to make sure that he knows, because he was a kiddo that really lacked positive adult influences in his life. And that's a kid that's always stuck with me, and I think I will be connected to forever.
That's wonderful. Since there's students like that who appreciate their teachers a lot, is there an adult that isn't a teacher who you appreciate in that same way?
That isn't a teacher, not including like the obvious ones like my dad.
If you want,
Talk about my dad.
go ahead.
Yeah, probably my dad. My dad is somebody that he didn't even graduate high school, but he's another reason I became a teacher, because he has always really valued education, and he sacrificed going to college and everything when him and my mom had my brother, and has always really wanted us to be educated. And all of his kids, my brother, my sister, and I are all teachers, and so we have kind of turned that into giving back. He really instilled that value in us to be educated, so we have taken that to the next level and made it our life's purpose to educate others.
So it seems like your dad appreciates teachers.
Yes, he does. His wife's a teacher and all his kids, so he better appreciate teachers.
Well, I think that's all I have for you today, Mr. Hernandez.
Thank you guys.
And that's it.